Hello fellow creatives to Moonlit Haunt Creative and part 2 of my Valentine's DIY series. For project number 1, we're going to create a dual-sided standing heart sign. For this project, you're going to need a metal paper towel holder that you will paint. I am using a matte white spray paint. And then you're going to need 2 of these Love Dollar Tree heart signs. On the signs, I'm just going to take off the metal love word, and then I'm going to fill in the holes with some lightweight spackling from the Dollar Tree. And you'll do this for both of the signs. Afterwards, you're going to apply paint to the back of the signs. I'm using Waverly chalk paint in white, and I'm just making sure I get full coverage on those back ends of the signs. And after you have the backside fully covered, I'm also going on the sides of the signs just because they will be visible. So I want to make sure that the white paint is also applied to the sides. And then once you have the back and the sides fully covered, I'm going back into the front of the signs and just applying paint around the edges. I would say about 1.5 to 2 inches from the edges. I'm applying paint. I am leaving the center of the sign not painted. I'm then going in with Waverly's chalk paint in the color Mineral and just dry brushing some on to add some distressing. I'm not adding a lot of distressing, but just enough to my preference. And this is what the sign will look like once finished, and you'll do this again for both of the signs. Now I'm going back over and just sanding with a sanding block. That is completely optional. You do not have to do so if you choose. Next, I'm taking a wooden heart ornament from Dollar Tree and filling the hole with some lightweight spackle. And then I'm going to paint the heart with this seafoam minty color that I got from Folk Art. I'll have the color in the description. I do not know what it's called off the top of my head. And then I'm applying a full coverage to the heart and also getting the sides as well. I'm not going to worry about painting the back side of the heart. And then I'm taking another one of Dollar Tree's hearts. This one has the laser cutouts, and I'm also filling the hole with spackle. And for this one, I am painting black in Waverly's chalk paint and ink. And when I'm painting in black, I'm making sure to also get in between those cutout pieces just to make sure I have full coverage. And again, I'm only painting the front and the sides and in between the cutouts within the heart. And once you have both pieces painted and they're dry, it's time to assemble. Here I'm just placing the 2 heart ornaments on the main heart sign just to determine placement, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue on the seafoam or mint colored heart first, and then I'm going to apply glue to the black heart afterwards and place it on top of the main heart sign. When applying glue to the black heart, I'm applying a light layer of glue just to those outside edges to make sure that I don't have any glue seepage through those cutouts. And after the smaller hearts are glued down onto the bigger heart, I'm taking some of Dollar Tree's poster board letter stickers using just XOXO and then placing them on top of the larger heart. For the placement, I'm not measuring, I am just slightly pressing down on the bottom edge of each of the sticker to determine the placement, and once I like it, I'm then going to go back and press the rest of the letters down to secure them onto the heart. After the letters have been pressed down, I'll be using Dollar Tree's Mod Podge in matte and applying 2 layers over each of the letter for protective coating. Moving on to the other heart sign, you will need 3 of these plastic heart containers from the Dollar Tree. We'll only be using the side that does not have the ridge on it, and I'm also taking a pair of pliers to cut off the hanger tab as it will not be used. Once the hanger tab is removed, I am just taking a sanding block and sanding any rough edges down from that hanger tab. Next, I'm going to spray paint the outside of the heart. For this example, I'm using Hammered Silver by Rust-Oleum. And once the paint has dried, this is what the heart will look like using that Hammered Silver spray paint. Next, I'm going to take a thin dual-sided tape. You can certainly use a thin washi tape if you do not have dual-sided tape. And I'm going to be cutting strips and laying them horizontally across the heart. For the spacing of the horizontal placement, I am not keeping them even. You'll find that some of the spacing between the tape is greater than others, as is my intention for a type of organic crisscross look. And after you've finished applying the strips horizontally, you'll go back in and apply them vertically. Again, not necessarily keeping even with the spacing. Some of the strips will be closer in width and spacing as opposed to others. And this is what the heart will look like once all the tape is applied. Once your heart is taped up, apply 1 to 2 coats of paint in the color of your choosing. After the paint has dried, remove the tape to reveal the crisscross pattern. And once all your hearts are completed, you can start determining the placement on your heart sign. For my placement, I chose to have them going down the center of the heart in a straight line. And since I've now determined the spacing of each of the hearts, I'm going to go ahead and just start applying glue to the edges of each of the heart and then pressing them down onto the larger heart sign. And once all 3 of the hearts are secured down, this is what your sign will look like. The last step was assembling the pieces together. I'm laying the paper towel holder on a box and then setting the first heart sign face side down underneath and then laying the paper towel holder on top. I'm then going to apply a lot of hot glue, and I do mean a lot of hot glue. I probably went through 2 to 3 glue sticks just by applying hot glue over that edge of the paper towel holder. And once you're finished with applying the hot glue, you're taking the second sign face side up and then lining it up on top of the first sign and then pressing down where the ridge of that paper towel holder is and where the glue has been applied just to secure that hold. And once dry, you have this beautiful, neutral, dual-sided standing heart sign. Now, I really enjoyed making this sign, especially having the option to switch between the 2 different designs on either side. Now, if you've enjoyed this video so far, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell icon. Moving on to project number 2, we will be creating a neutral framed heart artwork. For project number 2, you will need one of Dollar Tree's 8x10 frames that has the faux wood grain on it. And you'll also need 2 pieces of white cardstock. Additionally, you're going to need a heart-shaped template and some paint of your choosing. Now I'm starting off by taking one of the pieces of cardstock and then that wooden Dollar Tree heart ornament and then tracing around it, using it as a template. And then I'm going to take my scissors and then cut that heart shape that I traced out. And then once you have your heart piece cut out, I'm going to go back to the frame and then disassemble it, removing the backing from the frame and also taking out the glass. Next, I'm lining the frame backing up to the cardstock and then tracing around it. And after it's traced, I will go ahead and then also cut it out. And then once the frame backing size of cardstock is cut out, I'm going to take the heart shape that we cut out and apply some painter's tape to one side, and then center it on the larger sheet of cardstock, which will be used for the frame backing. For the next step, you'll see it's already in progress. My apologies as my camera cut out, but I'm using my paintbrush and dabbing the end of it in the paint and then placing it on the edge of the heart template and then slightly out, creating the dots. Now you will need 3 different size paintbrushes, all varying in the width of the handle, and then repeating this with the different colors. So you'll start with the largest one, going around, placing it on the edge and then slightly out. And then you'll switch to the next smallest paintbrush and then again repeating it, but also starting slightly outward with each paintbrush size that you go down. And as you progress, the dots end up becoming further and further away from the heart shape. And once you've gone through the different colors and paintbrush sizes, this is your artwork that you'll end up with. And once the paint is dry, you will go ahead and remove that template from the center of the cardstock. Next, we're going to work on the frame, where I'm going to apply Waverly's chalk paint in white, and I'm just going to dry brush it on that faux wood texture that the frame has. Now on this first side, I'll admit I was a little heavy-handed as compared to the others with the white paint and distressing it, but in the end, it turned out all right. And once I have the white paint applied to the front of the frame, I'm going to go ahead and also apply it and dry brush it to the sides. And now it's time to go ahead and assemble all your pieces. So I'm taking some hot glue, just putting a dot in each one of the corners of the frame backing. And then I'm going to place the cardstock with our heart art, say that 5 times fast, over on top, pressing it down to secure it. And once the glue has dried, I'm going to go ahead and flip the main frame over and then set the frame backing inside and then pushing down the tabs to secure it. And when everything is together, you end up with this finished neutral heart Valentine's Day artwork. It really was an easy project, which anyone can do. And now let's take a look at the finished products together. I know I certainly enjoyed making these DIYs as they were both different while staying within that neutral category. Please let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, and go ahead and subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified when videos are uploaded. Again, I hope you stay inspired and stay creative.